you love to play. Oh, you love to play. Don't your comments won't relay. Sign this on my page for you. Oh my God, he changed. Young life, I can't see back karma. I just need some brains so I could keep myself in order.
He got problems, she got problems, only I got 411 problems. Hey, hi, what's up, y'all? It's time for another story time. Yes, yes, yes. You see the title. You see the title. So, mind you, Tyler is this, to me, like, I see Tyler having, like, this strength, like, this impeccable strength, like, he's this soldier, because you have had all of these surgeries while you were a baby, toddler, like, before the age of 4, right? So, I see you like this strong, impeccable person, like, you can handle it, which in this case, that's not necessarily the truth, because during those times, literally, like, I think Tyler was feeding off me, because you're a toddler, you're a baby, you're a toddler, so you don't really have, like, the mindset, the wherewithal of thinking, like, this is serious, this is something that affects my mental. You just want to be held by your mama. You know you in pain, but you just want to be held by your mama, if that makes sense. Anyway, so we have, make sure where I'm at. Ooh, yeah. That's another story time. Or should I tell that one? Yeah, so I'll tell that one. So before we move to the opposite side of town, before we move from the east side to the north side, Ty, one of his testicles swole up like the size of a tennis ball, just one of them. And so this one particular, like, it was like he came in and he was like, I'm in pain. So he told me, like, the little girl had kicked him, right? And I was like, what little girl? Who is she? Like, where is she at? Like, I'm, like, trying to look for the little girl, like, do my mama thing. But he was like, no, don't worry about it. I'm in pain. Can you just help me? I'm in pain. So I'm thinking, like, oh, okay, because the little girl kicked him, that's the reason why, like, the testicle was swollen. So I gave him some pain medicine, because he was just laying there, like, literally in pain, like, agony, pain-wise, agony. So I was like, okay, I was like, I'm going to put you in a hot bath, because, like, hot baths are supposed to relax your muscles, so help with the swelling. And I'm going to give you some pain pills. So gave him some pain pills, went to sleep. And he woke up the next day, and the testicle was still swollen. And I was like, Tyler, something's not right. Like, I got to take you to the emergency room. So he was like, no, yeah, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. So it was like, no, he was like, no, Ma, I'll be fine. I don't want to do hospitals. Like, mind you, as I told y'all, he had all these surgeries. So Tyler's not really fond and crazy about the doctor. He don't want to go. He really don't want to be around it. He's like, if I don't have to, unless I necessarily have to be there, I won't be there. You won't see me there. I don't care. Don't even say to me. I don't want to be around it. You've been going to doctor's offices and doctors and hospitals majority of the beginning of your life, so I understand. He was like, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to go to the emergency room. And I was like, Tyler, if that is swollen tomorrow, we are going. And so the next day, he was still laying in the bed. And he tried his best, like, to hide the pain, because he could barely walk. And I was like, that's it. Like, he was like, no, just give it a couple more hours. Just give me some more pain pills and give it a couple of more hours. I promise I'll be okay. Gave him some pain pills. Gave it a couple more hours. You still can't walk. I said, come on. So we're sitting in the emergency room, It is nighttime. His testicle, one testicle, had been swollen for 2 days. 2 days. So the lady, once she found that out, she was like, oh, we gonna go ahead and rush him back. So we literally sat there for maybe like a good 10 minutes. We got to the back, and then the nurse, once she saw it, she was like, Mom, you should have brought him in right away, because it could have got twisted. He could have lost it. And I was like, well, I'm telling him, yeah, let's come. And I said, but I can't force nobody to be uncomfortable. I said, especially since he had all these surgeries, I can't force him to come. He knows the pain level that he wants to deal with. I can only tell him, like, hey, this is serious, we need to go. She was like, yeah, I understand. So Ty, like, they're doing all this, like they're doing the ultrasound on it, like they're in order to do the ultrasound, like they're applying a little pressure, so he's in pain. And so the doctor that came, she was like, are you sexually active? And he was like, no. And so she looked at me and she was like, Mom, can you step out? Sure. So I stepped out. And so Tyler told me, she asked him again, do you do drugs? Are you sexually active? Like, you can tell me because Mom's out of the room. He was like, I'm not sexually active. So it was like, girl, like, which I get because I'm an MA, so I did the OB thing. I understand, which is why it was no problem for me to step out. So Ty, like, once she gave him some pain meds, she was like, no, he need to see a specialist. And she was like, of course the specialist doesn't open until tomorrow morning, so you're gonna have to call them to find out, like, their first opening. But she was like, but I'm gonna have them rush because this is extremely important. So she had them rush, and the next morning I had to be to the office like at 8 o'clock, like time they open. So went to the office, they looked at it, and so the lady was like, we're gonna pull some blood work. I need your medical records from his surgeries. I was like, from Shan's? And so she was like, yeah. And I was like, I don't have that book. And I don't. I'll show y'all the book. I don't have that book. So she was like, well, I'll request the medical records. Okay. So she requested the medical records from Shan's and also from his pediatrician when we used to live in the other city. So once she got the medical records from Shan's, she was like, oh, this makes sense. But she also came, and so she was like, there's an infection in his bloodstream, and so he's going to have to take these pills every day. It's very serious. I don't know what's causing it, but it's very imperative you take these pills. Y'all, when I tell you those pills was like this, they were huge. And I felt so sorry for him. And so even when we got home, like, he was quiet. Like, after that first visit, he was quiet because, crazy enough, the testicle was still swollen. So we're going on day 5, I think, at this point. Three, 4. Hold on. It been swollen for 2 days. 3rd day we went to 4. Day 4. Yeah, day 4. So day 4, the testicle still swollen. So she was like, this should help with the swelling. This should, but it's very imperative that he has to take this pill. He also has to take it with food. Okay. So this is Tyler's first time of awareness, like, of being sick. If that makes sense. Like I said before, you were baby, toddler, so I was carrying most of the burden. But now it's like, hey, this affects me. Like, it's something serious because you're taking antibiotics every day. Like, he could not miss a day. It was very important that he take the antibiotics for the infection in his bloodstream. So he was like as we was riding home, and so she was like, I'm gonna run some more tests, and then after I get his medical records some scans, like, we can make some decisions. And I was like, okay. So she wanted to wait till after a week for us to come back to test his blood. So once we got home, Ty was really quiet. He wasn't really eating. And I had called my little yeah, which they was still cool, and it's the same dude. I had called my little yeah, and I was like, I need you to come talk to him because he's not talking to me. And I was like, and I know this is affecting him, but I feel like he would say something to you before he said something to me. And so his advice was just give him some space, because sometimes, y'all women like to fix stuff. Sometimes you got to let it be, like, give him some space. And I was like, all right. So that's what I did. So he really wasn't eating, but I was like, I need you to eat because you have to eat to take these pills. So he was like, Ma, I really don't want to take these pills. These pills got a nasty taste. They're big. And I was like, Tyler, she told you, like, you have an infection in your bloodstream, not in your testicles in one area. This is your bloodstream. This is the blood all over your body, running through every vein. I need you to take the pill. So he took the pill. He ate a little bit, and he was like, I'm going to go lay down because I'm in pain. I was like, okay. So fast forward, we're going for the weekly checkup, and she was saying, like, the testicle should be down by now. Well, it was down, but it wasn't normal size. So she still didn't like that. And so she was like, at this point, I'm going to take more blood work, and then I'm going to take another urine sample, and we're going to send it to a specialist. Well, according to the specialist, he was like, what it seems like right now is his kidneys are shutting down. He's probably going to have to be on dialysis. At this time, my kid is 12, 13, and you talking about dialysis? So Ty, of course, his eyes are getting big, like he's hearing all this stuff, and he's like, what does that mean? What does that mean? And so she's breaking stuff down to him to tell him, like, what exactly is dialysis. Here's why your testicle hasn't gone down. Like, we really think like something is really wrong. So she was like, Mom, like, we got one more test, and then I'm gonna give him another antibiotic. So he's taking one antibiotic already, and then they give him another one, because she was like, if we can just clear out the bloodstream, maybe that'll help it out. We don't know, maybe it's just a real strong infection, and the first antibiotic just wasn't doing it, right? So I was like, okay. So, like, everything, it's like I can hear her, but everything is spinning, and like I'm having flashbacks, because it's like I've been through this before. I'm tired. I'm ready to tap out, because at this point, I'm tired of the doctors. I'm appreciative, but I'm tired. So I heard what she said. I'm making sure I'm retaining what needs to be retained, and then we go home. And so he was like, another pill, Mom? Yes, another pill. Unfortunately, I don't know what to tell you. So within the next week, I know y'all may not believe with this, but I was real cool with a lot of people at the church we were attending. Excuse me. This is a different church. I was real cool with a lot of people at the church we was attending, and so I had asked one of the elders, and I was like, cause y'all be, well, I can say it. I was like, can Bishop pray over him, because this is what's going on? And so she was like, well, I'll ask him. And so we went after service. It was me, the elder, Tyler, Bishop, and another person. I don't think that she was elder, though. I was trying to see if elder was her title. Maybe it was. Unsure. But it was all five of us in the room, including me. It was 5 of us. And so the bishop at the time, like, put his hands on Ty's face, and he looked at Ty, like, and all this time, during this time, Ty has been quiet, and we're up to a good 2.5 weeks of going back and forth to this doctor. So he looked at Tyler, he put his hands on his face, and he was like, "You're just tired of being sick." And Ty just broke down crying. Because mind you, Ty has not talked about his feelings. And so when he did that, he broke down crying. I started crying because it was like, finally somebody got it out of him. And the whole time, like, this man just was told 20-30 minutes prior, this is what the prayer is about. And you were able to get that out of him, get that emotion out of him, get that to deal with the emotion. Anyway, so Tyler, he prays for Tyler, and you know, he was like, "Mom, come in, let me pray for you too." So he prays for me, and you know, I thanked the elder because me and the elder were cool, and it was like, "Okay, let's go home." And so Tyler was like, "Mama, if they still find," once we got in the car, Tyler was like, "Mama, if they still find, like, you know, something wrong with my blood, what does that mean?" And I was like, "Dialysis, that means your kidneys are shutting down." And I was like, "Because your testicles should not be swollen still." So he was like, oh man. I was like, right. So she, like, once she had took the test, like, this is like a Sunday after we had got the results and the second antibiotic. So she wanted the antibiotic to be completely done. She wanted both of them to be completely done. So once we got completely done with the antibiotic, we went back for a follow-up, and the swelling was minimum. It was still kind of swollen, but it wasn't painful. And so when we got there, she was like, "Okay, it's still a little swollen, not as painful as it was, because of course you couldn't touch him," which I understood, but it was huge. But she was like, "We're gonna get the results of the blood work, and we're gonna go from there." So when the results of the blood work came in, she was like, "Everything is completely clear." And I was like, she was like, "I can't explain it. I don't know what. Everything is completely clear." And I know y'all sitting here saying, "Oh, it's the antibiotic." No. The antibiotic was to help keep Tyler afloat. What she was saying as far as the infection that was in his bloodstream was supposedly, like, incurable, if that makes sense, because they were talking about dialysis. And anybody who's had a family member who is preparing and going on dialysis, you know, there's no turnaround to that. So she was like, "I can't explain it. Everything is completely normal, and I'm gonna have to release you." I'll take it at this point. I don't care. I'm excited. Did my little praise report on my Facebook. It was a whole nother Facebook, so it ain't up there. Did my little praise report, and whew, good to go. Now, mind y'all, before this situation, before we had moved and when we was in this other apartment, Ty had got shot in the eye by a BB gun. It was a plastic BB gun. His eye was huge. Y'all, when I say Tyler has been taking me through it with these hospitals and stuff, that's a story time. I love you the most because you're definitely the dopest in real life. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.